Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We're taking the EZA full power SSJ4 GOKU into ESPR and seeing how he does. Of course, a global first, which didn't really last too long, did it? Like literally, it was like, what, a week, 2 weeks later and JP's already got it. I don't really see the point of doing global firsts if, you know, they don't really stay first for too long. Like, it just seemed kind of pointless. It just seemed kind of pointless. But yeah, we do have him linked up, of course, with the LRSSJ4s just because he works so well with them. And just, you know, they're good. It's just simple as that. They're good. Man, look at that. I mean, of course, we have our full HP right now, so we do get the full attack and defense plus 100% boost. We've got the attack and defense plus 159 at the start of turn, and we've got the key plus 3 plus an additional attack and defense plus 59%. Because all allies attacking in the turn are super class allies. A lot of them attacks are actually coming from Goten, so I think I'm actually not going to use an item. I want to see how much he tanks without an item, and don't forget the SSJ4s have guard right now. So yeah, I'm going to see how much he's going to tank without an item. So we just have just over 200k defense. 76k without him supering yet, without him raising his attack and defense by 30% for the turn. That's not bad, considering no item, hasn't supered yet. That's really not that bad. And once he's supered, he's taking double digits with no item. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. Because we lost some HP, of course, by taking, what, 70k on a basic. So even though he doesn't have the full 100% attack and defense at that point, we still have most of it. I mean, probably like at the 80% region. Just off of supering once, 30% attack and defense on super, he was tanking everything for double digits. Yes, primarily all those attacks were from Goten with type advantage, so that's also a big help. But he only took like 100 from Trunks, who he was type neutral against. That's pretty impressive. Now, at this point, we're definitely going to use... I'm going to use a Whis. Definitely going to use a Whis. We're going to put them two in slot 1 just because they have their damage reduction. We're going to finish Goten off. We're of course going to super attack Trunks, get some HP back. He's going to be guaranteed stunned for the remainder of the turn. And then we'll give those to my boy EZA SSBE. But already it's looking good for him. Of course you're going to super me, but it's okay. We do have a Whis active. We're fine. Already is... Okay, we're getting super attacked again. I mean, we have type advantage against this one. But already it's looking good for him. Already it's looking good for him. You know, when it comes to harder content, getting that full 100% attack and defense boost, the more HP remaining, is going to be a little bit more difficult. But even without having the full boost, he's still going to be putting out some very impressive numbers offensively. Like, you're probably still talking around about 6 mil, just not, you know, closer to 7 mil. But you're still looking at decent numbers. And while his defense will also drop a little bit from, what, 400k I think he's on after 3 supers? He's still going to have some solid defense. He's still going to have solid defense. Of course, if you're almost dead, that's a whole different story, which a lot of the times in red zone, you're kind of hovering around about probably like 100 to 200k HP. But I've actually taken him into red zone against Broly on some of my, I say some of them, I haven't beat him yet. So all of my failed attempts, but I've taken him on some of the runs, but all of my failed attempts. You know, I said, because I haven't beat him yet. But I've taken him on some of the runs, and I have to say, I mean, of course, one of the major things in his in his favor is he has type advantage against Broly at the end. So he's doing a lot. I mean, he's doing good damage anyway, especially if you get crit, but obviously he's doing great there because of the type advantage. But defensively, he's not bad. I mean, he's not more likely to get you killed than anyone else you're going to be taking, you know, to float in that event. You know, as long as they, you know, unless they have guard or something. So he actually works quite well there as well. Even while having quite low HP, which of course Broly does quickly because of how often he supers you, the AoE on the strength phase. So he still performs actually relatively well. It's just obviously in red zone, you know, and some of the new SBR and ESBR stages, you're kind of a bit more worried about his defense more so than his damage. That's why, you know, you would obviously want more HP in some of the harder content, but he still performs relatively well from what I've seen. So even though we have actually lost quite a bit of health, like we are just above the halfway mark, we still have literally just over 200k defense at the start of turn. We don't have 600k attack, but we still have just over 200k defense, which is still pretty good. This is what I mean. Even without, you know, even without having, you know, the greater the HP to get that, you know, more of the 100% boost. I mean, we have a Whis active, so he should tank this relatively well. I mean, that's actually, do you know what? For the fact he hasn't super attacked and he's type neutral, yes, that's a lot of damage to take. Which, by the way, he's still on a 6 million attack stat, even though we're pretty much almost dead. So we're probably just under 100k defense right now. Not 100k, just under 200k defense right now, which, to be fair, is still quite solid. But the fact he was type neutral, hadn't super jet, he's not a slot 1 unit. You need him to super attack first. You want him to raise his attacking defense for the turn before he gets hit. So to tank that for 255k, yes, it's a lot of damage to take all at once. But considering we already started with less of that 100% boost and he hadn't supered, that's not bad. Because a lot of units probably in that scenario, generally if you put them in slot 1, units that can't handle it, probably would have you closer to dying there. We did have a Whis active as well, so that's still quite a bit of damage to take, but he didn't super yet. So while it's not the best, it's not bad. It's not bad, it's just generally not good, but it's not bad. He won't get you killed if he hasn't supered yet. That's the important part, but it's not bad, it's not great, because again, we did have a Whis, but he needs to super first. We are definitely going to pop an EZA. All his attacks are hitting Jeets, so that's good. Do you know what? We'll let you super, and then we'll stun Gotenks so my boy doesn't get hit at all. And then we'll give these to you. So far, he's actually doing really, really well. He's doing really, really well. And it still honestly just baffles me as to why people called him mid. Like, not every single unit that comes out, not every single EZA needs to dominate, you know, the constantly updated content like Super Battle Road, like Goku and Vegeta event. Not every single unit that comes out has to be amazing in red zone. Not every single unit that comes out has to be like Trunks and Vegeta, who literally are ridiculously good there. Not every single unit that comes out has to literally demolish every hard content, every hard event that we have in Dokkan. That's just not the way things are meant to be. So calling this guy mid, I still won't get it. Even to this point, I still won't get it. I mean, maybe that's because people didn't get to they didn't use him after actually getting his hands on him, or their hands on him, but yes, it's just, honestly, people called him mid, it generally didn't make sense to me. So of course, we have a little bit of extra defense. On top of the fact that we pretty much almost have full HP, and we have the EZA active, means we have over 300k defense. So after we super, you're probably looking at, what, 500-600k defense, which is more than enough, or is enough, for him to be sitting on for the rest of the turn. Which is very nice. SSJ4s have guard. Can we get a super off with Jeets? We can. That's excellent. So with an item active, full power SSJ4 Goku is in a very good spot, especially if you heal. If you use a snake, use an EZA, he's in a very good spot. You know, damage reduction, EZA gives him more defense. You're close to having that full 100% boost, which naturally you're going to use items in harder content anyway. And because he supers and raises attack and defense by 30% for the turn, you were looking at like 600k defense there, which is amazing. So after you use an item, Goku defensively is in a very good spot. Like, very, very good spot. Which, as I said, naturally in harder content, you're going to do anyway. But even without it, 400k defense off a super is actually just, it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. And as I said, so far he's doing well here, because his offensive numbers are still really impressive. Even with, of course, with full HP, they're very good. But even with like low HP, like we had, what, the last fight? You know, we were like, what? Half health? No, then we got supered first, didn't we? So we lost even more. We were pretty much like almost dead. He still put out a 6 million attack stat, which is still very, very good. Of course, we've always got the extra attack and defense plus 59% because all the allies attacking in the same turn are superclass allies. I mean, I was kind of thinking about bringing him on full power, but the reason why I opted against it is just because, I mean, realistically, if you need to do the category mission for full power, if you're going to take him on a full power team, full power category team, for any category mission you're going to do, you know, I could see you bringing him. But, you know, when it comes to ESBR specifically, I mean, to kind of cover all bases to show him with, you know, without the attack and defense plus 59% with having all superclass allies and attacking in the same turn, to show him, you know, actually get off the 4C enemy super attack when there's another full power category ally attacking in the same turn, when also you have 59% HP or below. The team kind of becomes a little bit of a mess. Like, LR Super Saiyan Gohan isn't the best here. Like, he's not bad, but I kind of had to really accommodate the team to kind of tick all of his passives off to show him with and without these things. So I kind of opted against it. And we've got transformations, not that I really need them, but you know, why not? We'll use them. We'll use them because then we'll use the active. And we don't have to worry about taking some extra damage. So that's why I decided not to do that. But that is definitely a useful thing to have in any harder content. Having the ability, having the tool to be able to force the enemy super attack is a very useful tool to have. You know, there's no turn restriction, which is great, but of course the other restriction is you can only do it when there's full power category allies attacking in the same turn, which is not necessarily difficult. But if I quickly whip up, right, if I quickly grab some of the full power category or some of the full power category units, there's some good ones, but you know, and there's some he links okay with, but there's no SSJ4s there, so you do miss out on that all-important Saiyan Raw link, which isn't too bad. He's still going to be putting out some impressive numbers, but you know, when it comes to ESBR specifically, LR Gohan isn't the best here. I mean, there's LR Kale and Caulifla, but he doesn't really link well with them, but they're a good unit. You know, there's some good units here. LR Namek, he actually links quite all right with. But the only thing with this, so I said I had to kind of accommodate the team just to kind of take off all parts of his passive, which just kind of really weakened the team. You know, a lot of the better full power units are kind of extreme units. I mean, yes, you've got, you know, outside of ESBR, LR Gohan's great. Kale and Cleveland aren't too bad in ESBR because of the dodge. Nameku's alright in both. SSB's okay in both, I guess. We don't really link him with him. LR Gohan's not bad. LR Kaioken Goku's pretty good. You know, you have like transforming Goku. You know, a lot of these units are good, but are slightly better in longer events. You know, for example, Tech Kale and Caulifla, 100% you're going to be taking them in the longer event because they stack. Who else do we have? I mean, Super Jeets is not bad in both. I mean, just in general, superclass wise, unfortunately, the extreme class units kind of trump them, if you will. You know, you're looking at eventually on global, LR Golden Frieza, LR Full Power Frieza. There's also LR STR Broly. There's also EZA AGL Golden Frieza, the tech one. There's Transforming Frieza as well, EZA, Dokkan Fest Broly. You know, Dokkan Fest Bojack, EZA Omega Shenron, EZA Fizz Omega Shenron. You know, and, you know, while necessarily losing out on the attack and defense plus 59% when all allies attacking in the same turn or superclass allies, while losing out on that isn't too bad, as I'm just trying to accommodate the team to kind of show off, you know, Goku with that, without it, you know, using the force the enemy super attack. It just, as I said, it just kind of overall weakened the team, which I didn't really want to do. Like, I didn't really want to do, but you could still take him on full power and he wouldn't be too bad. He wouldn't perform as good as, of course, with another SSJ4 unit, because again, you're missing the all-important Saiyan Raw link, but he'd still do fairly well. He'd still be putting out some decent damage. His defense will probably pretty much be in the same place, you know, depending on who your floater is at the time, you know, and who you take. But, you know, as long as you set up the team where, you know, every other turn, potentially you're getting a superclass unit, you'll get that key +3 in attack and defense plus 59%. So defensively, it'll still be pretty much at his best every other turn, which is not too bad. And then also you'll get the force the enemy super attack as well, as long as your HP is at 59% or below. But, you know, in general, a lot of them, you'll probably be taking extreme class units for that. You know, and there's actually, to be fair, there's only a couple units I'm missing super class wise for full power, but not ones that are like ideal for ESBR, but he'd still be viable there. He would still be viable there. But every other turn, you'll be getting that key +3 in attack and defense plus 59%, which I guess is better than not having it at all. Well, it's definitely better than not having it at all. But of course, you know, here, and a lot of the times you're going to be using this full power SSJ4 Goku, is going to be with another Super Saiyan 4 unit. Considering a lot of them go on teams together anyway, yeah, a lot of the times when you're going to be using him is with another Super Saiyan 4 unit. We generally, with Jeets, might do enough damage on the Dokkan attack to actually beat this. I'm not even joking, we generally might. You know, but you're looking at Shadow Dragons, Pure Saiyans, Goku's family, I think Final Trump Card, Giant 8 Power, GT Heroes, what else do we have? Power Beyond Super Saiyan, and then eventually Bond of Parent and Child when Trunks and Vegeta drop in December. You're looking at what, 7-8 categories there? 7-8 categories that he goes on that all have a Super Saiyan 4 unit that can go with him. That's most of the time where you're going to be running him typically, which obviously is a good thing. I mean, LR SSJ4s are amazing, EZA Year 4s are amazing, you know, EZA Tech Gogeta, you know, even the OG EZA Year 2s, you know, SSJ4 Goku and Vegeta are still pretty good. So a lot of the time you're going to be running him is going to be with another SSJ4 unit anyway. But I mean, that was actually relatively easy. That was actually really easy. He tanks incredibly well. Not to mention, if you manage to get an additional super off of him, defensively he is great for the remainder of the turn and untouchable if you use an item. But he done really, really well there. Really, really well. I mean, I could take him into full power category ESBR. You know, if you want to see that, do let me know down in the comments. I don't typically do more than one. But if you want to see that specifically, I can do that. Do let me know. I'll see you next video, guys. Let me know how you find him now. Did you find him mid when he first dropped? And have you changed your opinion now? Or do you still think he's mid? I think he's very, very good. Just he doesn't have to be dominant, or nor does any other newer units or new EZAs have to be dominant in every single event in the game. So let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you next video, guys. And push.